What's the most ridiculously absurd way you've seen someone get rich in no time? My cousin recorded the audio of a fan for 8 hours about a 2 decade ago and now has north of 1 billion white noise tot YouTube views and is one of the top podcasts on Spotify. I have a friend who's a lot like your cousin, but this happened recently. His YouTube channel had been struggling, probably because he wasn't showing his face. However, after he started using a virtual avatar for his videos, his subscriber count and views have increased more than tenfold. My brother's friend worked minimum wage jobs. Then he and his wife started buying lube in large quantities from overseas and repackaging it in much smaller quantities in their garage and reselling it on Amazon. Really just classic middleman stuff. But they made so much money that they quit their day jobs almost immediately and haven't looked back. They wholesale it to Diddy or something? Forgot that he mined a dozen or so bitcoins over a decade ago on his spare notebook. Remembered 3 years ago that he still had that laptop in a drawer. Jesus, dude was sitting on a solid good laptop for how long? He and his brother developed an online game where 2 cowboys walk away from each other, then turn around and shoot, and one dies. The game was entirely automated. You could just bet money on who wins, and if you got it right, you would X195 your money. With 5% going to the house, they got unfathomably rich. Saw them race sports cars around the world. Last time I checked, though, they went to prison for tax fraud. Greed, it gets us all. Learned my lesson falling for A to good to be true? Offer for a Beamer. It wasn't true. My uncle invented micro machines, little toy cars in the early 90s. Edit. When I see my uncle next, I will show him this and all the people he brought joy to. Fuck yeah, dude. Slap him on the ass and give him a kiss. For me, I fucking loved micro machines as a kid. Not rich, but my friend told me about how he went to the strip club one night downtown. He stayed until 3 a.m. and then, when he left, he walked outside to find a ton of $20 bills just blowing in the wind down the street. So he grabbed as much as he could. He couldn't explain where it came from. No one was around at the time and the streets were empty. If it was by E727 even. I feel like either I saw this on the .news or dreamt it. A small-time YouTuber, think under 500 subscribers, I personally knew used to make RuneScape videos. One day, he decided to change things up and do creepypasta readings. Bam! Went viral and had 10,000 subscribers in 2 videos. Last I checked, he's just shy of 1 million. That guy is now Mr. Beast, thank you for reading. Big lotto winners who aren't satisfied and keep buying more lotto tickets and win again. I don't mean a mill or two, but those megaball types who hit 10 or more, then play and win million plus like a year later. I'm in Australia and they raffle houses here for charity. It's pretty big. Win a 5-apartment seaside building sort of type thing, or a hinterland estate. I've heard of people investing $20K or more in tickets and winning a few times over. Rich people doing Rick people things, I guess. A friend of mine once struck it rich overnight by selling designer pet rocks online, complete with little outfits and backstories. It was a wild idea that somehow took off. If he didn't have a little jump to conclusions mat as an accessory, I'm going to be very disappointed. A friend of a friend was at the rubbish dump with a friend and found a bag filled with a bunch of cash. They split it and he hid it under his bed, then used it to pay tradies and stuff. Very dodgy, but sounds like something from a book. There's a children's film called No Country for Old Men that briefly touches on this subject.